Yeah. So it's not necessarily like you don't pluck a number out of thin air. There's a lot of thought that has to go into it. So the research design clearly impacts the extent of the incentive then that goes out, doesn't it?
100%, yeah. So it depends on what you want to do, right? So that kind of takes us on to research objectives, right? I would think. So you got to be super clear on your research objectives, and it's kind of, who do you need to understand? Who are they? What do you need to understand? Context. Where do you need to understand them? Is it at home? Is it out of home? Is it at work, for example? What's the purpose of the research? What are you trying to achieve? So getting your objectives right at the very start is critical. It gives you clarity. And what that does then, basically, it trickles down into tasks and activities. And, what are the activities or tasks that you assign to respondents to kind of help you, deliver on your research objective?
Yeah. So I suppose with tasks then, we're talking about, I guess, the best ways that you can frame and organize questions and activities for your respondents to engage with. So for a diary study then to be effective, can you describe, I guess, in the context of Indeemo, the different tasking approaches that can be used or that can be applied?
Yeah, so there's a number of different ways of going about it, right? So, and it all depends on the kind of, I guess, the research objective. Is it discovery, is it exploratory, is it more kind of multi-method, kind of who's the participant, what's their context, maybe send them shopping, could be about occasions. So it can be all over the map, but we've got a number of different approaches, right? So the first one is if you're kind of light touch, 2 or 3 days, and it's more about kind of activities or jobs to be done, and it doesn't matter specifically when they do something or where they do them, then we have this concept of all at once tasking. So you might give them 4 or 5 tasks, different activities, could be an intro selfie, show us around your kitchen, whatever. You can deliver them all at once, because the power of that approach then is it lets the participants kind of plan ahead and understand exactly what they need to do. Okay. Second one then is if you're doing some sort of a linear mission. So let's say you want to understand how they shop, for example. So what's meal planning occasion, how do they get recipe inspiration, how they buy groceries, how they cook the products. So kind of end-to-end journey or mission, I guess. Usually what we have then in that approach is the sequential tasking concept. So that's a bit like the Russian doll of tasking. So what you do is you maybe have the intro selfie first, and when they upload that video, then you tell them to go and do a screen recording to figure out how they plan recipes or whatever. So we drip feed the tasks to them then in a linear manner. So that's more like a mission-based approach. If you're doing longitudinal research, so let's say you're going on for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, then scheduled tasking is the way we would recommend you deliver your tasks. So week 1 could be very open-ended, very exploratory, get to know them. Like a part of diary studies is a kind of helping you capture unmet needs, unknown unknowns. So just basically using scheduled tasking, you can be quite open-ended on the first week. And then on the second week, you can really get pointed and focused with your tasks, right? So then you can kind of lean into the learnings and figure out exactly what's going on and clarify what you discovered on the first week. And the last one then, right, is kind of iterative, kind of a hybrid approach of kind of scheduled and sequential. So where we see this coming to life is kind of iterative research, maybe veering off topic slightly, but customer closeness and iterative research are basically first cousins of diary studies, right? So in that situation, what we can do is we can program different sequences of tasks to go live on week 1 and week 2, for example. So it's super configurable. That allows you to kind of be contextually relevant to your participants, depending on what it is you're trying to understand.
That's great. You actually pretty much answered my follow-up question there about the kind of flexibility of fieldwork, but you covered it with those lists of different tasking types. But